Hello, I'm John Joe, and welcome to Lime War. Today we have RoMad QuantumScientist, who has crossed the water of the same island. I think he just wanted to spread out because they both tried to get this territory here. He is against Safwan. Both players are starting on the complete opposite corners of the map. So they are going to meet in the middle, so we might have to speed it up throughout the middle, well, the early section, just so that they have some form of an engagement. But at first we have Eco coming out from Safwan. He's got a town set up already. He's set up his lines. And I think he's gone for less territory. Oh no, he's spread across this way. So he's got two towns up and a factory there. So he's building artillery, I think, on that one. And he's got another factory being built now. But he spent all of his initial instant build capital pre-construction. Over here, a very similar style coming out from RoMad, where we have two towns. This one has the ability to be a city, though. And he's got the docks there. We have barracks up and running already. Another barracks being built and a factory over here. I think RoMad expects Safwan to be on this island, because that's where they both tried to get. But Safwan probably knows RoMad is not near him, so he might be playing a bit differently for that. Got another factory set up, and he's saving some capital behind. I'm wondering what he's doing that with. There's two towns over here, so I think he's going to try and spend some eco on that instead. He's saving it for that. Anyway, I think that's pretty much the initial start to this game. It's going to be interesting to see how they both progress and conquer the map. But let's see it in a bit faster speed for now. So he's just building up some barracks and sending them out. He's getting more eco going. We've got some extra industry. I'm going to start moving like that instead, because speed does increase my mouse scroll as well. There we go. So we've got all these infantry trying to spread across the map. Over here, he's taking the territory. He hasn't missed this section either, which is great. And he's got some energy just there. And from Safwan, he's going straight into boats here. We've got transports, and he's going towards this side here. So when these units go there, he's going to be able to cross over pretty easily. And he's built an airfield over here, and that's pretty much just to gain coverage over most of the map. And the water, if RoMad is here, will protect him from any ground-based attacks. There's probably going to be no Navy units used in this part of the ocean, this little lake. So he's pretty safe to do that there. And he's going to be able to spread across all the way over here, which is where RoMad is, I think. Yeah, this is RoMad's island. So their islands are actually really close together over here. So I wonder if anyone will try and use that. We've got a missile ship out. That's some anti-air in the water. Boats have transported some infantry across already. Have a look at RoMad. How far has he progressed at this point? He's just trying to colonize his own island for now. And he'll probably cross later, but this is going to be quite important to claim, because if he leaves Safwan to take over this entire island, that's a lot of eco. There are some little areas up here that they can both try and grab. There's even a city up there. We do have an airfield from RoMad as well being constructed, but not built yet. And we have the transport boats being built here with submarines. And this is quite a defendable position, assuming they can get out of this zone, because that is quite close to the edge of the map, and units don't usually like traversing over that area. But this might be a big mistake coming out from RoMad right now. But I don't know. We'll have to see if they can get out. They can. I have had the issue before, mostly at the sides of the map though, but they can get out, so that's alright then. But is he going to get trapped in there? I don't think he should. I think he should be able to get out. Those submarines are on the move, and the transport boat is taking some units over to this little island here. Surprised it's not going for the main islands, but they have seen each other now. RoMad can see Safwan, Safwan can see RoMad, and Safwan's gone straight into a nuke. I'm going to slow it down now because I can see the strikers are coming in. We have a nuclear silo being built instantly. That is the first response to finding the enemy. Whereas RoMad is not too concerned just yet. He's got an airfield up and running, but pretty much only to expand. So RoMad is pretty much focused on just trying to conquer the entire map. Safwan's shown up what he's got. He's got lots of strikers, which means RoMad can work towards changing his unit composition to that. He hasn't moved his anti-air yet though, but that's probably because he knows that they'll just get destroyed. He needs to build them up first, and he needs to protect this location to start with. Not too worried about losing these infantry right now. But he can't see the nuclear silo that's placed around this area. Not yet, anyway. And the commandos are going to take over this little island here. The boats could just take him across to this section, but it looks like he's going to send more commandos into here instead. Now we've got quite a large group of units coming through here. I don't think any land is contested just yet. Actually, no, Safwan is on this island. He's got energy production over here, so the commandos are moving in this area right now. There will be a ground-based conflict over there. And Safwan has pretty much claimed his entire island at this point. The only problem is Safwan can only see this infantry right now, and you can see that he hasn't been forced away from this location, so he's just getting these hits in for free right now. But that's all he knows. He can't see anything that's going on over here, and the same goes for RoMad. They don't know what each other are doing right now. Yeah, those commandos are going to drop in from here over here to take over that bit. And RoMad is building a factory right on this island, and we can see there's an energy well there, so he's sending his ships across this way. They will probably quite easily take that out if it's undefended. There we go, Safwan can just see that now. He sees the missile ship coming in, but he can't do anything about it. And the worst thing is, I think he brought his ships in from this location, so he's just moved them away. From his perspective, though, he can only see one missile ship. There are submarines moving in there, but he's out of energy, so he's stuck. He needs to get some energy wells, or more energy wells, because he's already got 2, I think. Yep. Problem, though, Navy units do cost a lot of energy, and he's trying to run those commandos as well. Right, both players can also see each other on this island right now as well. This will get taken out, I'm pretty sure. The missile ships... Actually, I think those are destroyers. So those destroyers will be able to take out these submarines over here. Pretty sure they're destroyers. Can't remember what they look like exactly. They look very similar to missile ships, I think they are missile ships, actually. I can't see a turret at the front. Anyway, so we do have the commandos and infantry coming in through this way, so that's going to take out the storage if he can take on this location. Got a factory here, though. He's using anti-air, though, just in case those strikers come back through. That rocket is currently being built, which can do quite a lot of damage if used well, so we'll have to see how that plays out, because if he hits the airfields, it's going to really hinder RoMad's ability to control the ground in the future. He does have these very defendable location here, but there's a lot of units stuck here. I didn't know if they get stuck. It looks like they have. On the bright side, they're not really using any energy. They're eco-friendly ships. There you go, the SAM unit there is just not quite enough. There's quite a lot of strikers here, and they will take that unit out, leaving them to take over this area and stop these units. I think Safwan's going to easily be able to take over that island as well. Safwan, not Safwan, sorry, let's have a look at Safwan. Safwan is struggling a bit with energy. It's quite low. He does have a lot of storage for it. So he should be able to store it up for long attacks later on, but he's going to struggle if it gets too low like it is now, because he hasn't got much time with it left. And it's the strikers that are using up quite a lot of energy right now. Navy isn't moving much, so it shouldn't be that. We do have a boat coming in over here. Looks like RoMad is going in. He's just spotted the enemy ships, but he should be able to sneak past if Safwan doesn't notice it. Can't remember what's there defending it, though. He might even spot the missile here if Safwan isn't going to respond right now. He might be looking elsewhere on the map. He spotted it now, and they're coming through. I don't think they're going to see this missile then. What's going on over here? Because I can imagine it'd be worth building some boats in this location to transport across. Especially with the amount of land units you got. He does have some strikers here too, I've just spotted. On the airstrip. There we go, 2 units come across. That boat got redirected, so we'll have a look where that's going. They're going here now. They're going to try and control this island over there, and they're going to try and use the anti-air to try and stop the strikers. Up over here, we still have some ships which are going to affect the eco because they're not being used. And they do cost upkeep. We can see sea units upkeep is 119 right now, so that is going to affect this game because they're not moving, they're not doing anything, they're not being any value for money. His response to the amount of strikers is to use interceptors. He's got them landing on this island here, I think. Yep, there we go. They're going to land there. That should help cover this area from those strikers that keep trying to attack. And RoMad's trying to hide in the mountains with his units, but they're just not going to be able to get stealthed enough from the accumulated vision from Safwan here. They are going to end up going down there, and Safwan's going to be able to defend this location. His missile is done. The only problem he's probably going to find is he doesn't have anywhere to shoot yet, because he doesn't know where the enemy is. Well, he knows where they are, but he doesn't know where his specific structures are, apart from the energy well. But taking it out means the enemy's just going to rebuild it. It might stop him, make him slow for a little bit, but is it really worth the value right now? He needs to scout out his structures to find out where anything of value is. Or find a large army. There we go, he's moving his boats in to stop these reinforcements getting on. I thought he was going to bring some more anti-air, but I don't think he has. He does still have these interceptors here, but he is low on energy. I would still bring him out to this location. It's really not that far. And he could probably stop these strikers, at least for a little bit, and damage them quite heavily. And these units are coming in right now, so the defences have only just been built by a couple of units. 2 were taken out on this one here, and these ones right now are getting completely overwhelmed. I think this factory is in a lot of danger right now. There we go, the interceptors are coming up now, but it's a little bit too late as the strikers have already gone. We do have a bit of a navy fight going on here. Well, RoMad is struggling with his energy production right now, and his navy is just not moving fast enough to get into that fight. So this small group of units are potentially going to do a lot more damage than they normally would do because they're taking them one at a time. So that they are moving a lot closer, and soon they will be in range, and that will change the tide of that battle. But it does look like Safwan got a good engagement there for a start. There we go, the factory does go down on this island here. These units have just captured the territory there. That missile just went flying off into the coasts. There we go, so RoMad has managed to control that area eventually, but he is almost completely out of energy. He does still have the production, but he is out of energy. Over in this direction, looks like RoMad took the advice to try and sneak some boats in and get his units across instead. So Safwan is now having to defend over here. I think he can do it pretty well. I just don't think he's spotted what's going on yet. He has now. He's trying to bring in these strikers to stop the reinforcements and any ships that are in the area. He is also building his own boats, so he's doing the same thing. He's just a little bit slower on this side of the map, but generally speaking a little bit faster up in the north. It looks like both players' attentions are in different locations, trying to think of different ways to break the opponent. The engagement over here is in favour of Safwan right now, and I think Red Team is definitely going to get into this. And I think the reason for that is because they use the arrow commands right now. RoMad did use flag commands. I think he took them off, which means they're sort of spread out a bit more, and these units aren't getting into this fight. But if Safwan used flag commands, it would have taken him longer to get to these units, and they might have been a bit separated, especially if he tried to take it all in different ways. So now that he has control over the island, he can happily take over all this land. And we're down here, the strikers have stopped the units coming in from RoMad into this section of the island. The rocket's just been fired, so we'll have a look at RoMad's point of view because you can see, I don't know where I am. There we go. There's the rocket. It's going to fly straight over these SAM units. I don't know if they're going to spot it. It's definitely targeting this energy well, because that's all you can really see, and that is quite heavy fire against it, and it didn't go down. So you need more SAM units than that to take out a nuke. But that energy well has gone down. RoMad does have quite a lot of energy production, so I don't think that's really going to affect the game that much. But it did cost Safwan quite a bit of cash to do that. Not only is it 500 for the silo itself and 500 for a rocket, and now he spent another 500 on this rocket that's being built, he is also paying for upkeep on the silo and the rockets as they sit there. The strikers are being sent out to try and take on this little force here. There is only one missile ship, so they should be able to take them on. And they're struggling on energy, but just because they're out of energy doesn't mean they can't fire. These units will still fire at their enemy. So those Navy units are going to go down. Safwan is preparing for a major assault on the southern part of RoMad's island, while these strikers are up in the north trying to stop any units getting across onto this island. Maybe, to be fair, hitting the energy well has affected it because these units are being slowed down. And there's an energy well just there. I think that might be in range of the strikers, depending on where they're located now. I know there was some here. But yeah, those strikers are able to stop most of the units coming through here, but the interceptors have tried to push them back, and I think they're going to continue to do a lot of damage if these strikers aren't pulled back. I think they're just coming back to reload. No, they have been pulled back properly. There we go. We do have another rocket being built. That interceptor flew quite close to the rocket, but still didn't quite see it. Though I'm sure RoMad does know there's a rocket on the field. He did just get hit by one, but he doesn't know exactly where it is. We have a city already now, so say already, we're already halfway in. We have got the city now. We'll have a look at the eco at this point. That is a lot of power plants. Safwan's invested a lot of cash into 5 power plants. No, 4 power plants. I just saw that one. So 3 of these power plants are the same production as this, but they just cost the exact same amount of money. So it's 3 times the amount of money to get the same production. So Safwan is at 1,370 right now, and RoMad is at 1,500. So RoMad's quite a bit ahead in eco than Safwan is. RoMad has sent quite a lot of units over here now, and he's going to try and go straight for this area here through the mountains. I don't know if that's intentional or it's just quick drawn, and he's going to try and get this barracks to go as well. You can see a lot of eco being spent there too. Over on this side of the island, RoMad doesn't really notice what's going on from Safwan. Have a quick look because he does have a plan over here. Quite a few boats in this section. He's going to send these units over really fast. Strikers are taking out these submarines. Unfortunately, strikers can't see through stealth that well. If there was a couple of interceptors there, they'd probably see it a lot better. I'm going to quick look around. We have a silo over here, defended by quite a few anti-air units. I think RoMad's desire for this section is to have the rocket be able to help here, and it will also defend him here, or even fire a rocket this way. Got the transport jet trying to come in and sneak an attack on this, or 2 of them, on this area. He's just found the nuclear silo there, or rocket silo, and it is ready to fire another nuke, so he could try and take them, fire that nuke before these commandos do any damage to it, but they're not going to get that damage done quick enough. There are quite a lot of units heading straight for them. Not enough commandos to do enough damage there. They might be able to take out that town. I'm pretty sure they won't. Just in case, Safwan has fired that rocket once again. He's going for the other energy well, I believe, right up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and he's definitely going to get that. And from RoMad's point of view, though he's got a lot of storage, he doesn't have a lot of production. That will hinder him quite a bit, like we saw last time. But since last time, he's already built another energy well, so it's only costing RoMad quite like a little bit amount of money. He did lose quite a lot of SAM units last time, but that was just one energy well in costs for 1,000. Well, for 500 for a rocket. The artillery is moving in and building up in numbers over here, but that means nothing against these strikers that are coming in right now, unless these interceptors are coming in to stop them. There we go, they're coming in right now, but the strikers are getting in free damage right now. We do have a town and industries being built up here for RoMad, so RoMad's still increasing his economy. Whereas Safwan is trying to increase his economy, but I think he's pretty much maxed it out at this point. He is still getting that dock, so I think, yeah, that's already built now. Yeah, there isn't much else he can do, but he is sending in units to RoMad's main location right now, so although this attack is going on right now, those interceptors will push back those strikers, but there is a very large force right at RoMad's front door. Going straight for that town, and RoMad is responding, so he does see this. Safwan's got a line set up here, and these units are just going to sit there and do nothing right now with the strike commands on this town, because they're just slightly out of range. He has changed that now. So we do have a lot of units moving over, even quite a few boats still over there. The strikers have been called away from this location, with the interceptors chasing them away. Back over here, the town is going to go down, I think. And there is a lot of interceptors badly exposed over here. The strikers are coming through this section, trying to find what they can and take out anything there, but we do have the missile ships moving in, so those strikers probably won't be able to do that again. And as these units stream in, these artillery are just going to take them out before they can get there, but there are quite a few commandos, so maybe they'll be fine. Commandos might be able to take them out. But I'm pretty sure with the amount of artillery that's there, they're going to take too much damage too quickly to be of any use, really. Over here, though, the fight is still going on for this location. RoMad is still trying to fill up these defensive locations and potentially strike this target here, but I don't think he's going to manage to get in there just yet. We still have quite a bit of production there. And he is struggling with energy still. He also has built this silo here, but he hasn't managed to start production of the rocket unless he fired it already and I've missed it. Back in this section, though, I am surprised that Safwan isn't targeting that airfield. It's not a direct danger for this army on the ground here, but it is quite a lot of value to take out there. And they're off going for this energy well over here, which is going to be really bad for RoMad because he is struggling with energy as it is. It looks like he's tried to launch attacks against these. He's about to launch attacks against this missile silo. There you go, the commandos are being sent across now. Over here, RoMad is trying to fight off this artillery line here, trying to break them so he can get through there. But his reinforcements are delayed because of that energy issue. In this location, the army is moving out. He did send some over to this airfield over here. And this artillery is being taken out by the commandos, but it is slowing them down. He is trying to move the commandos back to defend it, and all of those units just went down, all at the same time. Which is unfortunate for RoMad. Commandos were dropped in, but there is a lot of artillery here which can just open fire as soon as these commandos hit the ground. I think the only way you can take out that rocket is by air right now. You need to build some strikers or something. He has strikers. He could just send those across instead. Which is what he's doing, I think. You can see those circles coming out. Those come out from strikers, I believe. And the rocket is being fired once again just before those strikers can get in there and take it out. But they are going to, that rocket is going to cut across this area and this, and they will all be able to fire upon that. This might actually be enough to destroy the rocket before it hits, and it does. RoMad saves himself from one rocket hit there. And the strikers are going to take out the silo. But Safwan now has no rocket right now, as far as I can tell. But he does have control over this island here, which RoMad's been trying to expand to from the very beginning. And Safwan's invading RoMad's main island now, and has been for quite a while, being very successful at it. He hasn't managed to claim this location here. Might be worth just sending a couple of infantry that way if he could, just to keep his main artillery force in this location. What is RoMad's response up here against this army? He is trying to send some units down, but it's nowhere near enough right now. Probably need to start building up the units in this section, because this is a nice little choke point. So, although you may lose a lot of territory here, defend and protect your main location and take it back later. I would have artillery trying to defend here, just so they can build up in numbers to push forward later. RoMad's rocket is being built once again. And there is an army coming through here, so even if I do try and build up there, I would still struggle against this section here, but I would have, if I could, the air units trying to cover that area. But unfortunately, rockets have been hitting the energy. And also, you got to remember, RoMad has a disadvantage right now because of this one placement. I'm not sure if he's noticed it. Pretty sure I did see something about that in the Discord a while ago. Picture of that location. I do think this is quite an older replay at this point. I did try and do it a while ago, but it's quite long and I just haven't managed to fit it in. So I've just managed to get it in now. And I'm trying to catch up with some of the older videos to make sure it's all up to date. Wow. Over here we do have the Navy units moving in two at a time, and these cruisers are pretty much taking them out before they can build up. Getting some pre-hits in for Safwan now. Even the SAM units are building up in numbers to take on the artillery here. Not sure if that was completely intentional, but the SAM units are trying to take out the artillery. And to be fair, their minigun's range is quite long as well in comparison to most other units on this game. So these units are going to move up through this location. They are going to try and take it out, as well as these units coming in through here. RoMad has his rocket now. He is about to fire it. And I imagine... I'm not sure where that's going to go, actually. Oh, take out this area. Definitely a defensive rocket here. And I think he will be able to take that out quite easily. I think most of these... There you go, he's left 2 units in this area. Should be quite easy to stop now. But there are more units coming in over here. Safwan did spread his units out, and that has saved him from a rocket blast. Safwan is going to be able to keep up the assaults in that location, even without the reinforcements coming in from this location too. But this is what I mean, because you didn't build up the units over here, they're coming in one at a time, and just as one unit dies, the other one gets there. So they're being fired upon straight away. A lot of units getting extra damage in here for free. So these units are coming down to take over the map, so that gives him a lot of eco. Have a look. Safwan is on 1,500, and RoMad, at this point, with a lot of eco structures, but not much territory anymore, is at 1,300. And last time I checked, they were the complete opposite way round. With more reinforcements coming in down there and here, we've got. Unfortunately, I think RoMad isn't going to be able to hold this off. If he does, I'm going to be very impressed. Down here, though, we still have a lot of this going on, and we have some units moving out, because I've got to remember, RoMad does have that top island there. And that is also quite a bit of eco for him. It could be a city, but it's not. He hasn't done that yet. He might have forgotten about it. At this point, it is quite a way on the map. But we do have the transport boat coming in. If RoMad spots this, he could send the submarines up there, try and stop them. At least just block it off, because I think there's only one boat there. Yeah, so he could just move the submarines in the way of this path to take out that one boat. I'm sure these units can deal with what's on the ground. Back over at the main base, though, we do have a navy battle going on to stop these boats. Safwan did pull those boats out really fast so that his main army can deal with what's going on over here, and I think there's a lot of cruisers versus missile ships. And those cruisers will tear through those missile ships quite quickly. But unfortunately, without missile ships, they are exposed to air attacks. And these strikers are going to tear through these guys quickly as well. Also, it might be a bit too little too late with those transports, trying to stop them from sending reinforcements over. We already have production and a large army to face in this area. So the Navy, RoMad's Navy did win against Safwan's Navy, but now are pretty much defenseless against these strikers. They do shoot the air units, but they're just not very good at it. So now they're just trying to get out of that location. I think they will survive, as these strikers are recalled back to rearm. And now we have the Reds military here right in front of the airfield, sending out one striker against them from RoMad. It'd probably end up going down from the shots these SAM units are getting against it. There we go, it's going down. The debris might damage the enemy, but I don't think it's going to be that effective either. One of RoMad's last energy wells is about to go down. Does have this location here. I don't think there's much elsewhere he has. Did stop the invasion going on up here. More of a scout though, I think. And we do have still this rocket here that could be used on this army. If he does take out that army with just one rocket, in probably, I don't know, less than a minute, I think that'll be built. Could be the time to come back, because Safwan doesn't have an army in another location, so if this gets taken out, it stops the invasion pretty much. He does have to try and push against this location afterwards. And we do have some missile ships going up here, and I think if RoMad was able to spot this, he could try and send these up there afterwards and take out these transport boats, stop any future invasion if he can. The only thing I'd suggest from Safwan is at this point you've got most of your army here. You do have a lot of eco as it is. That rocket is firing. But with the production on this island here, it might be worth keeping, but on other places, potentially turn it off unless you plan to send these units over. But your transport boats are stuck on the other side of the map. That rocket is coming in just behind this army and might be a little too far back. We'll have to see. Took out quite a large radius of units. No, that was one perfect rocket. He's now only got a couple of units left to deal with. These strikers are moving out to try and take out the production. That is probably one of the best ways to deal with this scenario, but I can't believe that RoMad has a lot of energy to use left over right now. These strikers are going to have to come back pretty quick. I would have only sent strikers because of the energy issue, but there are some interceptors there. The commandos are probably key in this part here because they don't need energy. Just get them in there as fast as you can. Take out some of this production before it becomes too much of a problem. So Safwan has got his units there. They are going to try and defend with these commandos here, but they are distracted by the strikers. There we go, we do have quite a lot of cruisers in that location. It might even be worth at this point selling off one of these structures, or destroying it, you can't sell it, just to set them free. I would like to know how many cruisers are actually in that location. So from Safwan's perspective, he doesn't really control much of this island anymore, but he is going to soon. The transport boats are coming down here to collect this army here and push them up. And we have another rocket silo here to try and take out the enemy once again. And he has quite a lot of eco at this point. I would probably try and start switching off some eco or destructing some of these structures. Don't think you need so much ground production anymore. Go mass air or mass rockets. Get loads of rockets. I like rockets. Sorry. Over here, I think RoMad pretty much did take out everything in this location. There isn't much production left over. I mean, it was pretty much a successful rocket that took out everything in this location. But over here we have only one factory left from Safwan. But I think Safwan's got quite a lot of eco. He could just build a bit further. There we go. A bit further down. Start setting up those to go across, and these boats are going to be able to get in there quite quickly and easily to start the invasion once again. Although it was a very good defense from RoMad, fortunately I think he is just delaying the inevitable at this point. But he does have quite a lot of eco. He could still come back from this. Just needs to get some better trades in the battlefield. And hopefully, I don't know how far those strikers could reach, but he could potentially set the strikers here to stop anything from getting onto this island and building up in too much numbers. Already have 2 SAM units on the ground here. Another one's on this boat here, but it's side. Yeah, there we go. He is going to push forward. He's deciding not to send in that SAM unit. There we go. Now there's quite a few SAM units there. They might be able to fire a lot, destroy a lot of these aircraft. You've got to realise that most of these are interceptors. Only one striker, another striker there. More strikers coming in. There isn't a lot of damage on the ground right now. But there is enough artillery, air units, anti-air units to deal with these strikers. But it looks like RoMad was able to keep this island up here. Safwan decided not to go up against it again. Wonder, did he move his submarines there? He potentially did move the submarines to try and defend that. Just in case the air units come in, we have more missile ships over here, but the transport boat has been caught in this section here with what looks to be an artillery, potentially 2 artilleries, I'm not sure. But that boat should be connected to this. We've got some submarines moving in from RoMad. It's literally just one, but you never know. It could have been more because of stealth. We have a lot of stuff going on up here. More power plants. So RoMad is going into power plants now, and he's got 5 as well. I say as well. Got more up here. But RoMad's trying not to rely on the energy wells over here that keep on getting destroyed. Trying to build up some energy that he can build up in the background. It does have a rocket ready, but he can't fire it because he just doesn't have enough energy right now. And I would probably shoot that rocket right here. Might not be very defensive, but there is a lot of units there, and that's a lot of value you can use. All of these units are streaming into one location right under a rocket silo. I would definitely be trying to turn these lines off just for a minute so I can build up 20. And send that rocket straight here. That would be the first thing I do right now. There isn't any anti-air, so you don't have any worries about that. You're pretty much going to get kills in here. There you go, the rocket has been fired. Is it going to hit here? I would like to see Safwan's location right now. There we go. That's twice now. These rockets from RoMad have destroyed an entire army of Safwans. But Safwan is building up a force over in this location with the production over here and units coming in through boat on this location. So RoMad is trying to take back this land, but I don't think he's being as successful as he wants to be. Just hasn't got a large enough force on the ground. And at this point, RoMad's eco is crashing. Although he's got 1,300, he also has a lot of production and upkeep. So he's got 1,300 in the negative as well. So balanced out, but it is crashing slowly. It means he can't really do much when it comes to structures, unless he manages his production or something. Safwan's perspective, though, he definitely has a positive income, and he's got 1,600 eco. So his expenditure is about the same as RoMad's, but he has 300 extra every minute to deal with. Handle however he wishes. RoMad is on the move, sending some transport boats that are empty, I think. It's got 1 SAM unit in it. Down towards this location over here. I don't know what he can do with the transport boats over there, but I think he's definitely trying to go for the eco with this right here. But SAM units, not SAM, strikers are coming in. And they will take out that missile ship first because it's anti-air, and that's what they do. They target what threatens them most. But I think that's a cruiser here, yep. going to target this, and I don't know if it's going to survive. There we go. The town does go down, taking away the docks as well. Over on this side, the engagements have begun once again. We have the artillery moving forward in two different locations to try and stop this army coming through. Trying to trap RoMad in this choke point here. That rocket's ready as well. I thought I heard that. The rocket's ready. He can fire that whenever he wants now, and he can use it against RoMad in this location to potentially take away his army or his key structures. And I think that might be the killer for RoMad if it's used right. Down over here, some commandos managed to get in and destroy the structure there. And I think RoMad is just trying to do anything that he can to try and hinder the opponent right now. Got another rocket being built, which would be very useful, trying to take out potentially another big army, but I just don't think there is a big army over in this direction anymore. The big army is now over here, once again. Could be used defensively again in this location, but I don't know if Safwan's going to let that happen at the same time. He knows that when his army gets into this location, he's under threat by this rocket, so he's going to try and spend a fair amount of eco to try and stop that from happening. Probably with strikers. I don't think there's much defending it, so quite easily take that on. And we still have quite a large group of cruisers stuck in the middle of this here. Let's have a look at his navy costs. So his sea units are costing him 168. Oh, that's production. Sorry, upkeep costs 222, and a lot of that will be those cruisers there. If he was to destroy it and send them out, he might actually control the ocean with that. Over here we do have RoMad's last defense in this location here. We do have some strikers here that could be used, but there is a fair amount of SAM units here that might be able to take them out quite quickly. RoMad has spotted the rocket there, which might just provoke an attack from that rocket. There we go, the attacks have started, the rocket is firing now, but it will fly straight over these SAM units. I think he might even just target them. To be fair, with the strikers coming in, he's going for the energy well once again, and that rocket will go down. It's not going to fire, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it matters too much. The strikers are going to come in and take out that rocket silo. There will be no more rockets from Safwan at this point. But Safwan also knows about RoMad's rocket and doesn't want to chance that one either, so he's going to try and take over this island by ship. You can see that the rocket's ready, but does RoMad see that the attack is coming in over here? Because he might lose that rocket before he can fire it. He doesn't. He does spot the attacks coming in. He isn't going to lose the rocket. He's firing it. And that one doesn't really have much anti-air, so I don't know where it's going to land. Okay, it's just going to go there once again. Which will help keep this island for a little bit longer maybe, but I don't think he can really defend it from this. Does have the strikers moving in over there, but these units over here are probably more important to stop right now. And unfortunately for RoMad, I'm not sure that he can. He can see they're moving in. You can see the anti-air coming in from this location here as well, and he is losing ground in multiple locations. Still has this one though. But at this point in the game, we are coming up to the end of it. Well, I'm pretty sure Safwan has won this game. Let me know what you thought about this match, and feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to see your replays. Share it in the Discord. There are 2 videos on screen right now, and thanks for watching.